Air neutral attack. Startup window reduced 3 frames. We can actually use this air neutral attack even faster now, guys. On whiff, branch window delayed 5 frames. Never mind. Why would you do this? I get that they want to make things punishable, man, but give him something that he can't get punished off of at least, man. I am back. It's been a couple of days, guys. I was out of town, but we came back, and yesterday, the MultiVersus official pages has dropped the Agent Smith gameplay trailer, and also we have a patch 1.05 patch notes to go through and talk about a whole lot of stuff that they're changing and adding into the game. So without taking up too much of our time, let's jump into this and check out what Agent Smith has to offer and bless us with. This is like something that we all cannot miss, and we noticed this with the Joker gameplay trailer. They showed the Powerpuff Girls in the top right corner that they're coming to the game, that they're going to be a playable character. So in that fashion, we got a quick sneak peek at what we can see is obviously the Warner Brothers Tower, which is going to be an awesome stage. I kind of like the way the platforms are set up. One of the most iconic stages, one of the most iconic designs of all time. We all are very well aware of what this looks like. First thing that comes to mind is Animaniacs and my last trip to Universal in LA. Unfortunately, I don't think it's coming with Agent Smith, which is kind of annoying, but hoping the music is going to be great. I'm hoping we're going to get more musical options. You can see the mystery machine in the background right here, which is kind of cool. Tons of Easter eggs in this one, guys. Agent Smith looks really fun. Follow the White Rabbit, direct quote from the Matrix itself. He is a bruiser, and this gameplay is really solid. I like that they went ahead and they got somebody that really is well versed within the game to do this trailer specifically. Ganondorf Spike. You'd love to see it, because the previous leaked footage of Agent Smith was unfortunately pretty bad. So a lot of people were kind of worried about the character. Is that a low-hitting dash attack? I mean, that wouldn't be anything new to the game. A lot of characters have that, but I do love that the gun is implemented into that. I wonder if every single time he has the gun, that has to be a very viable kill option if that is the case. I'm going to rewind back real quick. I don't want to go through the whole entire trailer per se, but man, I really want this game to full on give us a photo mode. That's the one of the biggest things that we are missing within the game. Would love to see that. I mean, clearly you can see within Unreal Engine, the developmental tools allow them to access a photo mode and use it that way. We don't have access to that yet. And I'm assuming this is going to be his like down special, Parry Avoid. You can avoid projectiles with him by doing the Matrix. So that's going to be really fun. And then we get some 2v2 footage here showing off the outlines are off on both of those characters. And we get a double Ganondorf Spike. Probably one of my favorite Spike animations in this game. If I can be completely real with you guys, there's so much power from it. I wish we could see which percents they were at so we can get a good idea at how early this will be killing. Agent Smith, man, finally we'll be able to play as him on July 8th. That is Monday. All the rifts will be available to give us the points in order to unlock him, and then 2 weeks after that we'll be able to, well, people will be able to buy him outright with fighter currency instead of waiting to do all the rifts. So there is that. Agent Smith is coming, guys. And now we got the patch 1.05 mid-season patch notes, and they told us previously the mid-season patch notes are going to be huge, consistent things. Every mid-season they're going to be dropping something like this, where we're going to see significant changes to characters, their kits, and all kinds of things. One other important thing to note, some characters unfortunately got broken when this patch was dropped. Looking at Jason, I don't know if Jason is back in the game yet. We will double check with MultiVersus' Twitter, but they had to remove him because of a glitch that the character had right here. MVPs were aware of the issue with Jason's grounded up special, causing opponents to stick to him. We'll be taking his character offline for maintenance. He will not be playable during his time, but the team is already working hard on resolving the issue. Rift nodes requiring Jason will instead require the Joker while Jason is offline. Keep you updated. Just to give you guys an idea of what exactly was happening, he was doing stuff like this, and I've had this happen a couple times in the close test, believe it or not, but I couldn't consistently replicate it. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. Like, this isn't even the most annoying video about this. People are able to just rack up almost 1,000 damage on you. And he also has his axe grab up special it's been teleporting people in addition to sticking them to him. You'll see it sends Arya through the map. And sometimes it won't even kill. It'll put them in a weird state where they can't die and you also can't hit them or see them, and then you're just forced to sit here and wait until the entire time runs out on the match. So they're working on fixing that, hopefully sooner than later, which sucks because Jason did get a bunch of buffs. New fighter Agent Smith joins the multiverse. If players complete enough tiers, beat the rifts, get Agent Smith free event, they can actually begin playing with him as early as July 8th. How's that for breaking reality? Agent Smith will then be available for purchase on July 23rd. Free-for-all game mode has been added to the normal PvP queues. Battle up against 3 other players. Become the king of the multiverse. First player to 4 ring-outs is the winner. We're experimenting with a different, more simplified rule set for free-for-all, so let me know how you like the mode. A lot of players like free-for-all. They've been asking and requesting this, and this should have been in the game by default. I believe it was in the game by default and in the beta. Let me know if you've been playing free-for-all, how you've been enjoying it. I just got back. I haven't gotten a chance to really boot up the game and play it. New mode, spectator mode, is now available for custom games. Become the ultimate support teammate and cheer on your friends without entering the ring yourself. Lobbies can support up to 4 spectators per game. Welcome back tournaments to MultiVersus. They're going to be a regular thing again now, and much easier because not everybody that participates in tournaments are able to stream themselves playing the game. So now we don't have to worry about that. You'll be able to spectate. Post-game stats have returned. You can now see your total ring outs and damage dealt on the screen of your results after any PvP or PvE match. I also saw with this particular thing, I don't have any matches played recently, but you could actually click on your recent matches right here and actively see what your damage was for each individual person. So that's cool that you're able to do that. Battle Pass tiers can now be purchased with Gleamium. Not everybody has the opportunity and ability to play this game every single day, and some people would rather wait until the very end or buy it out completely with money. A great option for WB and them greedy selves, and it's also a great option for those who choose to use the Battle Pass in this way. Added a free daily item available to be collected in the store. So this could range to being a bunch of different things. So my free daily item earlier today when I logged on was perk currency, unfortunately, but I've seen some other people have been able to get gems, gem XPs. I think it actually reset now, so I'm curious to see if my thing reset. No, it didn't reset yet. Fighter select portraits have been changed from 3D to 2D art renders for fighters. Only variants will retain to 3D renders. This is cool. When the game was first brought back, this was a big complaint on them, saying that they liked this style of the portraits before. Why would they change it to the 3D one? I agree, this does look great. I kind of hope that they update Wonder Woman's because I don't even think this looks like her. The new updated 3D one looked exactly like her in-game model, but there was always a weird disconnect between Wonder Woman's 2D portrait to whatever her 3D character looks like. She's the only person I feel like in the game that happens with. Other than that, it's back, and that's great to see. GG's to those that really wanted this. I know there was a lot of comments saying that. Went ahead and did it. Added an option to edit perks in custom game mode to help speed up a lot of matches and tournaments especially. We've added the option to also turn off both outline colors and team colors in PvP and PvE. This can be configured in the settings menu. Finally we can do that. No more fully red characters and making enemy skins look really weird. There's a Megalodon PvE Rift now available, and future rifts will be added later. Agent Smith and Triple Threat. Rift Cauldrons are now called Rift Star Meters. Star Meters can be completed by collecting 72% of available stars in a rift, down from 80%. Players who have already completed 72% of available stars can claim their rewards retroactively by completing a node in the relevant rift. That's a cool change. I like to see that. I myself needs to actually go through the rifts and knock those things out. I'll be doing that this week just so we're good on Monday and can play Agent Smith. Daily gem rewards now appear on a rift of each attunement each day. It's gonna help out a lot of people. You can auto equip gems before a match if the current equipped gems are mismatched. Cool, so you don't have to de-equip and then auto equip. That was kind of weird to do, but now it just works better. Added a new retry button to rift mode finally when the rift is completed in the single player mode in case you want to go back and complete a challenge. And added a new button to leave rift matches when in single player mode. I like it. Defeated boss requirements have been lowered to unlock Matrix code, Superman, Bugs, and Jake. I wonder if everybody's gonna get a Matrix code skin. Badges now show stats on account cosmetics screen. That's great because sometimes you don't want to equip a certain stat. It's kind of embarrassing that you thought you had much higher, but you don't see it until the match starts. So now you could actually see what each one is worth before putting it on. Weird that wasn't a thing before. Account mastery, character mastery, and leaderboards now show progress for all matches and is set in the post-match summary rather than just in the last match. Quality of life, that's great. Fix an issue where incomplete matches would display as losses in the career screen. That is actually a weird glitch that I experienced where I would see matches that I actually lost posted as me winning and vice versa. So This is a good fix. Input preferences. We are reintroducing some of the input preferences that were popular during our open beta. We hope this helps players feel more comfortable as they fine-tune their combat experience. Yes, I was a big fan of all the controller options that we had in the beta, so it was weird to see that that was not here, especially in the closed test when I could not get a jab off to save my life because I was not used to jabbing with the analog stick, which is what you have to do with default. Now they've fixed that, but before we get into that, customizable input buffer timing, which is awesome. I actually went ahead and adjusted this myself for now, but just to give you guys an idea, I think anything between 5 to 10 frames max is probably what you want to do for your input buffer. 5 is a little bit more on the extreme side, but feel free to raise that up to maybe 7, 10 even. Experiment with this, see what helps you guys out. Every character this actually might be better to adjust depending on what character it is you're playing. You're gonna have to play and figure that out though, because I wouldn't be able to tell you guys exactly what that's gonna be. Now we got the swap grounded and side neutral and air side neutral back. Yes, I put those on immediately. And attacks pick up items, I'm turning that off. I do not want to be picking up Mojo Jojo's bombs, who also got a nerf, by the way. I did see that Mojo Jojo actually will be attacking much less, and his knockback has been reduced. Great. And fast fall method settings, so you could actually switch it so that if you have to hold down the analog stick in order to fast fall, or you could just tap it down. Tapping will probably work hand in hand with input buffer, so this way you can tap to fast fall and then buffer another move immediately right after. So you guys again are going to want to experiment with that. I might actually want to experiment with tap. Maybe that might be better for my playstyle. We'll have to wait and see. All of that stuff, guys. All of that stuff. Great. And customizable neutral dodge input binding. And there it is, the dedicated parry button, guys. If you want to dedicate a button, I'm probably going to put left trigger. So this way I can have a dedicated parry, because oftentimes I would be trying to do a neutral dodge. I'll be trying to do a parry, but I'll be moving my left stick just off of instinct and messing up and not getting the parry off. Because of this change though, it'll make parries much more consistent. People will be able to pull them off easier. Even if you're moving with your left stick, you'll still be able to throw out a parry with your left trigger, or whatever trigger it is, or whatever button it is you decide to put it for you. They did have to nerf it a little bit. So if you look right here, upon hit stun ending, fighters now have a 6-frame lockout on the neutral dodge action. This will make it more difficult to parry attacks in the middle of a combo. Directional dodges are unaffected by this. So before, if you were in a combo, you could pretty much just spam dodge over and over again, neutral dodge, to get a parry to pop off. You can't necessarily do that now. There's 6-frame lockout before you can throw out another one, so you can't spam it as quickly as before. There's a slight gap in between, and you guys are going to have to time things a little bit better, or else you'll be punished for it, especially if your opponent reads that you're going for that now. And this does not affect directional dodges. Excessively long combo strings now apply a vacuum attack hit stun decay penalty. I wonder if that functions like the old attack decay, but in a hit stun sense. This should allow for players to more easily escape previously inescapable infinite team combos, such as alternating Superman rapid jab combos. Yo, sounds like a nightmare. Attacks that incapacitate fighters now apply a temporary incapacitate resistant buff to the incapacitated fighter. This will make subsequent incapacitate attacks have a much shorter duration. This should allow for players to more easily escape previously inescapable infinite combos, such as alternating between Jake's bite. Affected attacks will be noted in individual character patch notes. Not only alternating Jake bite, but there was also a situation where double Jasons would be able to sleeping bag and alternate between the two against somebody over and over again, which was kind of hilarious to see, but also kind of annoying to deal with. So those types of moves have been hit on this. And side attack combo input buffers have been standardized for all fighters. It should now be easier to buffer a different attack during a jab combo without accidentally inputting further attacks in the jab combo. I like that because, and I'll be straight up with you guys, I'm not very clean with my inputs. I'm kind of like all over the place. It can be sloppy at times and spammy. This is going to help me when inputting jabs go into my tilts or smash attacks, or even jumps out of it easier. It sounds like it'll be helping me. I want to know if it helped you guys out. General bug fixes. Fix an issue where fighters that took fire or shock damage on the same frame that were hit by an attack would cause the attack to be ignored. I didn't even know that was a thing. Fix an issue where fighters could respawn without spawn invulnerability. I feel like I suffered from that quite a lot. Now, obviously, if you spawn in and then you throw out an attack, you will lose that invulnerability. That is how it's supposed to function. But there's a lot of times where I'll just walk and not have invulnerability. And it's just, what? Come on, chill out, game. Fixed an issue where all team perks were always giving a stacked effect, even if you didn't have a double stack. Okay, so this is a good fix. Protective momentum. Projectile shield now breaks after blocking one normal or heavy projectile. Okay, that'll help out with bugs, I think. The Court 2 variant has been added to the game. That just means that it's in the rotation. It was always in like custom games and versus like offline and stuff, but you would never see it in the rotation of the map. So now there it is. I do like the daytime look of this more. So I'm always happy to see more stages come to the game, but I'm very sad that the Warner Brothers Tower is not added in just yet. The teases keep on coming. Crime Island's got to change. Main stage and side speakers width increased by 20% for the 2v2 variant, and blast box size increased 10%. I do feel like it was bigger in the beta, and they made it much smaller in the 2v2. So this seems to be kind of aiming to go a little bit more towards that beta direction, but not entirely. And the 1v1 variant, main stage width increased 20%, and blast box size increased 10%. There were a lot of easy kills happening on that stage as well as the Powerpuff Girls stage, so I would imagine that, yeah, it might see... Actually, no, this is just changes the mojo. Never mind. Dexter's Lap. Scroll speed reduced. Reverse scroll button cooldown increased to 15 seconds from 1 second. That's crazy. It was 1 second before. I never got the stage to pop up. Possible generated layouts updated. I don't think this is going to help this stage be well loved by people, but I'm glad to see that it's less annoying. Throne Room increased the upper limit to 300 units. Yeah, that stage had a very, very low ceiling. God. Townsville Mojo Jojo increased interval between attacks, so he'll be attacking a lot less in between. Bombs and laser knockback reduce. Hell yeah, the laser, it sometimes felt like the laser was killing you at 40%. Mojo Jojo takes more damage before attacks are interrupted. Cool. I like that. These are all great changes. This stuff is annoying when it's happening to you, but when you're doing it to your teammate, it feels great sometimes. Tree Fort. Bounce pads should more reliably bounce fighters and prevent them from fully landing on the platform. And finally, we are at the character buffs. So guys, again, remember buffs, nerfs, changes, and these are bug fixes. But before we get into that, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out, guys. Monday, we got some Agent Smith goodies coming your way. We're gonna be playing them all day and making a guide on the character as soon as possible. And also, we'll be playing some battles against you guys. You don't want to miss out on that, so help raise that 38% even higher and hit that subscribe button, guys. Now, let's get into this patch notes, starting with Arya. Ground dash attack got to change. Updated knockback to hit more consistently near the ledge, and her air and ground neutral special fixed an issue where Arya would float into space while attempting to use face steal. I've never seen that happen, but that sounds kind of funny. Banana Guard. Air neutral attack. Got a buff. On hit branch window is 5 frames earlier, so you could actually do an action outside of air neutral attack when it lands a hit. Air side attack. Damage has been reduced to 11 from 12. On whiff branched window delayed by 4 frames. So 4 frame delay on that move from when you can act out of it. Air and ground neutral special. Strength buff is now consumed after a successful attack on an enemy. Look at that. This character is looking to be a little bit more normalized, I would say. Ground down special. Plus, got a buff on this. On a hit, branch can be canceled 26 frames early on the ground down. What is this ground down special? Ground side special on whiff. Branch window delayed 4 frames. So this is helping people to not be able to spam this. So if you dodge this attack and they're trying to use this consistently and you dodge it, they have a delay of 4 more frames on that attack. Just saying, I think this should also be the air version as well, but I guess eventually we'll get there. Batman got 2 nerfs, surprisingly, actually. Ground dash attack on whiff, branch window delayed for 8 frames. No way. Oh, on whiff. That's okay. So you can't just be throwing this out there and not getting punished. I kind of like that. We need more punishable aspects of moves. It isn't as bad as it was in the beta, but there are still some moves that just are impossible to punish, even if you are on point with it and reading it. Air and ground neutral special. Fix an issue where Bat Bomb could be applied to 2 enemies simultaneously if hit on the same frame. That's kind of cool. Air down special. Leg hurt box size increased. So it was kind of hard to hit Batman out of that attack, and now it's a little bit easier, and he can't spam his ground dash attack without consequences if it whiffs. So altogether, solid patches on Batman. I saw some cool combo clips of Batman. Yo, shout outs to MultiVersus University, Bam and them. They have some really cool Batman combos and some amazing stuff with them, and I'm kind of hoping we see more Batman representation. I'm gonna pick back up the character and play him properly though. Black Adam, round up attack. Lightning strike projectile now applies a 4-second cooldown. A 4-second cooldown on a move that didn't have one before. The move itself does have a long animation anyway, so this is just going to be, I guess, well within the realm of reason for playing him, I guess. I don't know. Ground down attack. Knockback increased to 2300 from 2200, so it'll kill a little earlier. Knock people back further, technically, is what they seem to be wanting to do. And it got a little bit of a nerf. On hit, dodge branch window delayed 5 frames, so you can't just do this and then dodge forward to follow up, which I think some people were doing in combos. Air up attack. Final hit base knockback reduced to 1500 from 1750. That's 250 less kill power when it comes to base knockback. And then he got a nerf to the whiff branch window, delaying by 5 frames. So there's some consequences if you're spamming this and you miss. 5 frames of delay. Air neutral attack visuals now better match the hitbox size. So that is a change. Bugs Bunny is living up to his identity as a strong mage, but a little bit too well right now. We're hoping to reduce the time that his save can remain on screen by making it a little bit more fragile. And we're looking to tone down some of the more toxic loops that can come from his air neutral attack. They straight up said toxic loops? God damn. Air neutral attack, the big culprit. Got a nerf. Repeat move lockout increased to 18 frames from 10 frames, so 10 frames more. And on hit, jump branch window delayed by 4 frames, so you can't just continuously link it into itself over and over again. And also got to change. Attacking a safe will now only knock back the safe on the last hit of the attack. We're keeping an eye on this change and may adjust in a hotfix if this makes his air neutral attack safe and safe interactions a little bit too difficult. So before, if you were to do like a falling nair with Bugs Bunny on the safe, it would just immediately knock the safe into the direction of like wherever enemies are. Now that doesn't happen until the last hit of the nair. So that's an interesting change, but they did say that they might adjust it back if it actually makes the character worse. Bugs' nair seems like it got kind of gutted though. 10 more frames on top of, I mean, with 8 frames before, he was able to cancel it into itself over and over again. So 10 more frames, kind of making that not happening. Air up attack, hitbox active duration reduced by 2 frames. Thank God. I don't care. I don't care. I want to see this to Joker, and I want to see this to Bugs. I want to see this to Harley's up special. Those characters, man, fucking annoying being above them. No timing required at all. You just throw it out and the hitbox lasts way too long and it's active way too early. So now 2 frames, I don't know how much of a difference that'll make, but good step in the right direction, I would say. I wouldn't want them to tone this down too much, I guess, especially since the nair got dropped to 18 frames. It'd be kind of crazy if all his moves got hit negatively in that sense, right? Air and ground down attack, the pie projectile hitbox size increased to match hitbox size and should address issues with inconsistent projectile interactions. Air down attack, no pie. More aerial momentum is maintained on the attack startup, which is a buff. Air and ground neutral special, the safe. It's got to change. Enemy attacks only do 1 damage to the safe. Armor break hits still immediately destroy the safe. The safe's health has been reduced to 3 HP from 16 HP. They made it so that enemy attacks only do 1 damage to the safe. So instead of it being that you have to accumulate 16 HP damage, you just hit it 3 times and it looks like it breaks the safe. That's an interesting change. That actually might make it way easier to deal with bugs and teams. Air and ground neutral special has a cooldown. On hit, branch window delayed 5 frames on it, and the knockback angle was made more horizontal. Air and ground up special lowered platform height of vertical rocket to address issues where platform collisions would push enemies away from the hitbox. And then here's a bug fix. Address several issues for his air and ground neutral special, his air and ground down special, several issues with tunnels where fighters could be trapped infinitely or teleported off the screen without being wrung out. Okay. Bugs will now attempt to reverse direction if his destination tunnel is destroyed while he is traveling between tunnels. And now lingering love perk has a melee hitbox when projectiles spawn on cooldown, so it gives more reasons to use this now. Now we're talking about Finn, who got some buffs, and a bug fix. Ground neutral attack knockback scaling is up to 15.5 from 14, so 1.5 increase. Ground up attack knockback scaling for it got increased by 1, so stronger on the neutral attack, stronger on the up attack when it comes to the grounded versions of that. And now his ground down attack fixed an issue where his attack was not breaking armor on both hits. Let me know, Finmays, how are you feeling about this character right now? Does he need a little bit more love? Sound off in the comments below. Garnet got a air side attack 1 change. It has a nerf. Now applies a repeat move lockout after ground attack 1. Air lockout duration matches ground lockout duration of 16 frames. She could do some wild things with her jabs before. Not all Garnets were doing it, only some. And I've seen some crazy clips on Twitter and stuff, but damn, that's a change right there. Ground side attack 2 up. Hit stun was reduced and the knockback was increased to keep enemies further away. And the hitbox startup time advanced 5 frames. So it starts up a little bit quicker. It knocks enemies back a little bit further away. And the hit stun has been reduced. So it won't continuously lock you in combos, it seems like, is what the goal was for that. Ground down attack. Got a buff. On hit, branch window advanced 2 frames. Yeah, we've seen some positives with her. Air and ground down special. Placing a star will automatically adjust its position to prevent Garnet from ringing herself out on a star dash. Yes, yes, yes. Marker perk. Gauntlets will no longer spawn a star if the gauntlets were destroyed from leaving the arena. Garnet mains, how you feeling about that? You got some nerfs to your jab setup and combos, but you got some buffs to well, your ground down attack. Gizmo's balance has looked much better after his nerfs in the 1.02 patch. We're hoping to address a few lingering issues with his arrow and car gameplay before we let the dust settle for a bit. Air and ground neutral attack. Fix an issue where Gizmo would get multiple jumps in air while charging an arrow. And he got a change, adjusted jump height during arrow charge to better match his normal jump height. And his ground up attack got a nerf. Popcorn no longer affects arrow explosion damage and knockback. I didn't know it did before, but the grounded up attack at least. Ground side special. Card speed reduced to 2350 from 3000. Holy, yo, he was zipping around. Now he is not so much anymore. That is a 750 drop off. Car health reduced to 5 HP from 8 HP. They had reduced that before. It seems like they went ahead and did it again. And the car is now automatically destroyed if left idle for 6 seconds. I think that's a great change. 6 seconds is a long time in battle to have your car still out there. I wonder if you can keep hopping in and jumping out of it to reset the timer. Gizmo mains, let me know if that's actually a thing. Air side special. On whiff, branch window will be delayed 8 more frames. On his air side special, that is the umbrella. So I mean on whiff. So if you're just missing it, you're throwing it out there and you're missing it, your opponents can punish it. Again, these on whiff branch windows being delayed, it's to help opponents be able to punish you, because seemingly it's a lot harder to be able to do that, especially if they can spam it over and over again. Air and ground up special. Increase attach radius to 575 units from 250. And Gizmo should have an easier time snapping to his car or allies without needing to precisely aim the attack. So it got to change, but that's technically a buff. That's going to help him out a lot in 2s. Harley Quinn. Harley's balance was mostly tackled in the 1.02 patch, but we made some additional finer tuning based on feedback. We have adjusted ground up attack to feel more responsive and allow Harley to pressure her opponents with follow-ups. Both Harley's neutral special, Bat Doll, and Stripe's down special dynamite have been adjusted so the item timer begins to tick down immediately once equipped, to make these items have windows of counterplay. So you have to think about where you're going to be and how you're going to be utilizing those specific moves before the countdowns tick down. Ground up attack got a buff. On hit, branch window advanced to 6 frames. So your ground up attack, you'll be able to act out of it 6 frames faster. She also got a buff on her ground down attack. Maximum movement from charge increased by 5%. I think that's her slide attack. Air up attack got a nerf, 2 nerfs actually. On hit, branch window delayed 5 frames. On whiff, branch window delayed 5 frames. So double hits on that. And it's got a positive where the knockback increase has been raised to 1250 from 1175, so it's slightly more killing power on her air up attack. Air and ground neutral special. Explosion timer now begins while the Bat Doll is in Harley's hands. Cooldown timer now begins while the Bat Doll is in Harley's hands. Bat Doll will only spawn an explosion hitbox if it explodes after being thrown by Harley, and Bat Doll is now considered an item while Harley has it equipped. Throwing, this is a buff right here. Throwing the Bat Doll no longer consumes an air special. That's cool. And also fix an issue where Bat Doll would not attach to a fighter after colliding with certain projectiles or terrain. And fix an issue where Bat Doll cannot be equipped while Harley had an available Bat Doll to detonate. So they kind of went ahead and they did a lot of balancing around Harley's Bat Doll. Still a very valuable element to her kits. I mean, she can confirm a bomb stick off of a jab. I think Harley's still in a really good position here. Air and ground down special explosion now classified as a projectile hit, meaning it can proc projectile effects like that's flammable dock perk. Cool. Okay. So Harley didn't get any nerfs on her air up special. She got some fine tunes in regards to her bomb play, which is still a big portion and big part of her kit if you figure out how to utilize it to its full potential, guys. Iron Giant finally does not have the biggest paragraph. This is history. Wow, this is actually history, guys. Passive. No longer, allies can no longer enter the pilot turret while Iron Giant is in a grab state, and also fix an issue where Iron Giant could still use rage mode while polymorph. Bugs on bugs. Ground side attack on whiff. Branch window is delayed 6 frames if you whiffed his jab. Air side attack. Hitbox size adjusted so it's less likely for Iron Giant to hit enemies behind him. That's actually an issue that I kept coming across because I would dodge into Iron Giant and get away from him hitting me with that, but I would still get hit because he's got a hitbox behind him, even though I dodged his forward air attack, which was annoying. Air neutral attack on whiff branch delayed 6 frames, and ground up special, well, air and ground up special. Attack now transitions to final hit after successfully damaging an enemy, and the upper body is now projectile tangible while Iron Giant is spinning. And fix the bug that would allow this attack to hit 5 times on occasion instead of the intended max of 3 hits. Fixes all around for Iron Giant and also some nerfs. Seems like they're still quite a ways away from perfecting or at least balancing that character in a way that won't be breaking the game. Jake has been having a tough time since our official launch. With these changes, we're looking to make him feel more like an aerial bruiser and less like a bite spammer. I did see some clips from J Mafia. Shout out to J Mafia. Pretty dope stuff that Jake is able to do. Let's check out his changes. In general, the character got an issue that was fixed where he could not hold special inputs using the right stick. Ground neutral attack. Startup window would before charge was reduced to 6 frames. Startup window after charge is reduced to 4 frames. Air side attack. His hitbox size has been increased to better match the visuals, and also the hitbox active duration has been increased by 3 frames. Good for the character, man. Buffs all around for Jake. Air neutral attack. Hitbox startup time advanced 2 frames. Air down attack. More aerial momentum is maintained on attack startup. You can fast fall it. And air up attack 1 because it is 2 hits. Hitbox startup time advanced 3 frames, and the ground, air, and neutral special now applies incapacitated resistant buff to incapacitated enemies. That's the change that they talked about in general from way up above. Jake Mains, how we feeling? Jason got all these changes here, man, and he ain't in the game right now at the time of recording this. As a matter of fact, it says, attention MVPs, this Friday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, they will be entering maintenance mode for a few quick fixes and bringing back Jason from vacation. So Jason's coming back Friday morning, guys. But he has machete hitbox on several attacks now match a better attack visual. Please, man. This jab was just, you'd be seeing it swing at an enemy and miss completely, even though it's going right through them. And that's because the way that the animation was, the further extended his arm is on the initial frame of throwing it out. But the middle portions of it, he pulls the machete back closer to him. So it does whiff a lot when you're trying to get within range of characters. And it's kind of tough, especially on how slow he is. His stubby range is not helping him. So this is great. I like that this has been adjusted. It's not necessarily just his jabs, but in general, it seems to be several attacks now better match the attack visuals. So W patch right there. I like Jason. I just did not like how much harder you had to work with him to play against other characters. And it's not necessarily that you have to work harder, it's just the fact that like certain moves don't function or are clearly outclassed in general by a lot of the cast, and you can't really do too much about that. Ground neutral attack. Hitbox start up time advanced 2 frames for the neutral attack that's on the ground, and his side attack 1 hitbox startup time advanced 1 frame. Look at that, bro. Faster jabs. Let's go. Ground up attack. Fix an issue where the first hit would not properly vacuum into the second hit under certain circumstances. I had a lot of issues with that, where the grounded up attack, like the bed attack, would not pull them into the second hit, which should have been a kill, but I didn't get the kill. And because I was stuck in the animation and the enemy was out of it, they instead would kill me. Air neutral attack. Startup window reduced 3 frames. We can actually use this air neutral attack even faster now, guys. On whiff, branch window delayed 5 frames. Never mind. Why would you do this? I get that they want to make things punishable, man, but give him something that he can't get punished off of at least, man. It's not like the range was increased. The range isn't exactly amazing for that attack. Air down attack. Got a buff. Hitbox startup time advanced 1 frame. It will now hit higher up on Jason. So his aerial down attack has a hitbox added to his head, basically. So there was a lot of times where you'd see his fists, which is his down attack, would be swinging through and missing enemies just because they're slightly higher and in front of you. Now that's not going to be a problem. You're going to be landing Jason's aerial down attack. His spikes a little bit more. You can be dunking people. I like it. You can be fisting people from down under. Well, up above. You get it. You get it. Yeah. Don't fist people from down under, guys, unless it's consensual. Ground down special. Change. Remove the sleeping bag's properties as a projectile attack. It shall no longer interact with Marvin's bubble or Rick's portal. I did hear that there was a insta-kill with this, supposedly, right? Where you could actually get this setup going with Marvin and Rick, but that doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. Fix an issue where Jason could grab certain boss enemies in rifts. That's actually hilarious. LeBron! Let's go! Buffs all around. We got 1, 2, 3 nerfs. Oh my god. LeBron's a really fun character, and I want to see more LeBron playing the game. And who knows, maybe LeBron himself. Ground dash attack, hitbox startup time, advance 6 frames, so it's faster. No longer prevents terrain bounds on knockback. Ground dash attack with no basketball, no longer prevents terrain bounce on knockback. So with the ball, without the ball, it's been buffed. Ground neutral attack. The hitbox start time after charge has been advanced 10 frames, and the maximum charge time increased. That's a change, which probably is a nerf. And required charge amount for armor increased to 4 frames. So okay, that technically this did get a nerf for the max charge. Ground side attack 1 is jab 1. Fix an issue where dodge attack momentum was not properly conserved. Is ground down attack. Second hit damage increased to 9 from 7. And the second hit knockback increased to 1825 from 1650. His ground down attack. That's the one where he bounces the ball on the ground, is it? Or is that his down special? Does that mean that you won't be able to lock people in with the basketball anymore? First hit knockback increased to 1750 from 1650. I wonder, or if not, I mean, maybe this will help kill earlier. We'll have to see. Second hit knockback scaling increased to 16 from 14, and the knockbacks were made more vertical. I gotta talk to Sputnik. Shout out to Sputnik. He'll probably be in the comments. I want to know if it's been about a day since this patch has been out. If you had a chance to play, how you feeling, LeBron? Air neutral attack. First hit more reliably combos into the second hit. So more moves need to do that, because let's be real, a lot of characters that is not consistently happening. Repeat move lockout increased to 15 frames from 8 frames. So you can't spam it. You can't spam it. Repeat move lockout. Damn, almost double. Air side attack. Hitbox startup time advanced 4 frames, and the knockback scale increased to 19 from 15. And the air and ground side special startup on hitting the ground increased 6 frames, and hitbox size has been increased. And the aerial down special without the basketball now allows ground movement while holding the special button, but the max horizontal speed has been reduced. All around, I think these buffs are pretty solid for LeBron, outside of the repeat move lockout being almost doubled for his neutral attack. That move was a problem in the beta. I don't think it was too big of an issue in this one, but now it seemingly is. I guess they're trying to protect it from going back into like what the beta allowed it to do previously, where you could just spam the chest slap over and over again. Marvin's air and ground neutral attack. Bubbled projectiles now have a minimum additional life time of 5 seconds to prevent projectiles breaking immediately after being trapped. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't even play Marvin, but I have been frustrated by him a lot, so kind of scared about that. Fix an issue where the bubble would get unnecessarily large after trapped in certain projectiles, and fix an issue where certain projectiles would not be properly trapped. Okay, they're just making that move seem like it's functioning better now, I guess. Ground side attack, projectile life time reduced to 2.75 seconds, down from 4.25. So nerf right there. An air and ground down special. Fix an issue where the flag would fall through the platform on which it was placed. Morty got general fix. His drive animation fixed it from facing the wrong way. Ground side attack 3, uncharged hitbox startup time reduced, allows for easier combos from side attack 2 into 3. So there's a lot of times where people would fall out of his third jab essentially. So now you'll be able to hit people more consistently with jab 3. So good. Good. Air side attack 2. Hitbox active duration reduced to prevent Morty from hitting behind himself. I did get hit by a Morty a couple times from behind. This is the axe in the air when he does his side attack in the air. Good change. Air and ground neutral special. Grenades are now properly blocked by projectile blocking effects. You want to see things work properly, of course. Ground side special. Splitting a grenade properly spawns 2 grenades moving in opposite directions. On whiff, it has a branch window delay 10 frames. Fix an issue where the on-hit branch window was not being acknowledged, and attack can now branch much sooner on hit. So the grenades are actually going to be moving in opposite directions now consistently. Delay of 10 frames, and the on-branch hit window wasn't acknowledged before. Attack can now branch much sooner on hit. So okay, so that's technically it's a bug fix, but it's a buff. And on more than just the hammer perk, got some nerfs. On whiff, branch window delayed by 15 frames, and the horizontal movement has been reduced. We got some Reindog changes. We got buffs. Damn, with buffs to his ground and air neutral attack. Uncharged damage increased to 4.5 from 4, and the uncharged knockback increased to 1250 from 1200. Uncharged knockback scaling increased to 26 from 24. So it made his uncharged version of this. So if you're just throwing it out there and not charging it up, holding it down, it seems like it does more damage and has a little bit more knockback. Air up special, Reindog got a buff, now flies more horizontally when thrown sideways by an ally. Oh, this is him turning into a ball. So you can be thrown more horizontally when thrown sideways by an ally. Okay, making it work better. Air and ground neutral special no longer damages invulnerable enemies. It seems like a special case, maybe Rift related. Rick got a change. Well, actually, signature perk has returned. Bit of a stickler, Meeseeks. Perk effect, Rick's Meeseeks deal extra damage to fighters that are already in hit stun. Damn, that's gonna be really cool to see in combos when Rick is actually using the Meeseeks mid-string. I know a couple Ricks that are able to do that, so this coming back might be really cool and special to see. Let me know, Rick Baines, how you feeling about that? Ground side attack 1, hitbox active duration reduced 1 frame. Maybe his jab was a little bit too oppressive before. Air and ground side special addressed several issues with portals where fighters could be trapped indefinitely or teleport off screen without ringing out. Rick now takes priority traversing through portals if he attempts to spawn a second portal while another fighter is entering. They made that function a little bit more. They made it a little bit better. Now, Shaggy, ground up attack hit stun has been reduced. So now when you do the arm swing as Shaggy, your enemies will be able to act out quicker from it, so you can't just reliably chain a jump into a up special to kill them now. You probably still will be able to, but certain stages seem to have been changed as well too, so they're trying to get around that fact that where you can just jab into up attack basically, then up special for a kill. It's way too easy on Shaggy. It is what it is, but the character himself is just pretty damn good already. Ground down special. Sandwiches no longer collide with the bottom of fall through platforms. Man, fuck that, bro. I was hoping that sandwiches could be pocketed and held and used in combos later on for pressure. I want that change for Shaggy so bad. Air up special. Damage reduced to 9 from 10. Damn. Ground up special has been unchanged. Knockback reduced to 1400 from 1500. So it's going to be killing a little bit less. The ground special version unchanged, and knockback was made more horizontal. So before I had a straight up vertical, easy to kill with this move. So now the knockback's a little more horizontal. People can DI it a little bit more. Has less knockback and less damage overall. So air up special is still going to be good. I mean, his ground up special is still going to be good. You can still probably do things like jab setups into it, but the air up special was too oppressive and was killing way too early, so they went around and fixed that. I kind of agree with that because Shaggy was a little way too oppressive, man. Angry Man perk, charge duration while holding a sandwich has been extended. Yes, coming across, even though I do play Shaggy, I don't use that perk. Coming across people that do use that perk, especially in 2v2 formats, it is pretty crazy how much faster and consistent it is for him to get into super mode with this. And of course, he has to eat a sandwich while doing it, but that's not an issue because sandwiches are kind of not really being used a whole lot now. To get a free super off of that quickly, really good for the character. Now we got Steven Universe. His long range and low whiff recovery has made him feel incredibly oppressive in close fights. His low whiff recovery combos pair particularly well with his bubble shield passive, making it very difficult to punish Steven even when he makes a mistake. These changes target his range and whiff recovery to bring him more in line with the rest of the cast. I didn't even know. I barely play against Steven Universes, but everybody always talks about how amazing he is. I don't doubt it, but it looks like he has been, holy shit, this is crazy. Look how much stuff they changed on this character. In general, fix an issue where Steven's enemies could stack Rose debuff on themselves by hitting each other, and fix an issue where dodge attack momentum was not properly conserved on grounded attacks. And you got some passives. His neutral dodge shield startup increased to 20 frames from 8 frames. This adds a vulnerable window after a neutral dodge before shield begins, so that's 12 frame drop right there. Directional dodge shield startup increased to 10 frames from 4 frames, and the bubble shield ammo cooldown increased to 13 seconds, sorry, from 5 seconds. Passive changes already, but now let's get into the moves itself. Ground up attack. So the charge knockback multiplier has been reduced and the hitbox size adjusted so it's less likely for Steven to hit enemies behind him. I always like fixes like that. I think It's kind of messed up when you're hitting enemies behind you and you're not supposed to. Happens to me a lot. Air neutral attack. So the attack no longer classifies as a projectile hit, meaning it can no longer proc projectile effects like That's Flammable Doc. So you can't use That's Flammable Doc anymore with Steven for his air neutral attack specifically. And on whiff branch window delayed 8 frames. Air down attack. On whiff branch window delayed 8 frames. Hitbox startup delayed 1 frame, and the repeat move lockout increased to 16 frames from 8 frames. Okay, Steven mains. You guys all right right now? Air and ground side special. Spawn shield no longer counts as solid ground for beginning and up special cooldown. That's actually a pretty cool change. I didn't know that he was able to do that before. I feel a little bit safer now. Air and ground up special. Now it takes damage on fighter terrain bounce and will break after 3 bounces. Behavior matches side special shield. So you can actually break it by bouncing into it. Ground down special. Fix an issue where the animation would not cancel if Steven became airborne during the attack. Was that a thing? And his down special, well, his air down special. Hitbox size reduced once Steven has landed on the ground. So all around, Steven had some massive tweaks, I think. I think he's got some crazy adjustments here. Again, I don't have too much knowledge playing against the character, but I wonder how this is going to affect his meta in general. Even mains, let me know what you guys think. Stripe. In general, fix an issue where Stripe's hurt boxes would be misaligned during dodge animations. Okay, and air and ground side special, air and ground down special. Now begins a 5-second explosion timer once it's equipped. Fix an issue where dynamite would not visually appear in Stripe's hands if the equip animation was interrupted. I think I've seen that before where I felt like I shouldn't have died because he didn't have a bomb in his hand, but because he got hit, the dynamite was hidden. I've seen this actually happen before and I died and I was just confused as to why that happened. So Stripe is still looking to be in a good spot and continuously getting better. I know Void is working on getting this character get some love and representation, but I wonder how this is actually going to help things out or change things up even more. So we got Superman, Flaming Reentry perk returns. Superman's leap attack is stronger. It ignites enemies. The landing from this attack leaves a firewall on the ground. Yeah, he didn't have that before. Well, not since the beta, but now it's back. Ground up attack hit stun has been reduced. And ground, air and ground neutral special, meaning, well, with the ground attack, you can actually act out of that more faster now. And the air and ground neutral special no longer infuses projectiles with ice above 6 stacks. Air side special, fix an issue where Superman would drop a fighter if the button was released too early. That's a fix, a good fix. Fix an issue where grab fighters could get stuck to Superman if you grab a wall. That's just something with grabs in general in this game, because that's also an issue that Jason had. Air up special, on whiff, the branch window has been delayed 4 frames, so you can punish it. And the air and ground down special, fix an issue where Superman would float away while attacking certain conditions. And the break the ice perk, fix an issue where the bonus damage was not being applied to frozen enemies. Taz and Steven seemingly have the most adjustments here. My God, ground dash attack. So they're making Taz a little bit more, well, appealing to use. First hit more reliably combos into the second hit. Good. Ground side attack. 1, fix an issue that was preventing Taz from doing other actions other than jab, side attack after jab 1. Okay. More moves other than jab 2 after jab 1. Ground neutral attack got a buff. Damage from charge has been increased. Charge knockback, upcharge knockback increased to 1450 from 1200, and the upcharge knockback scaling increased to 20 from 12.5. That's significant. Hit stun was reduced slightly and knockback made more vertical. On hit branch window delayed 7 frames. Oh wait, his ground neutral attack, was he able to lock people in place with this? Is that why? Because now that doesn't seem like it's as good anymore because it's gonna be knocking people further away from him. Maybe. I can't really remember Taz's kit too much. Ground up attack, first hit prevents terrain bounce on knockback. Final hit has been unchanged. Air neutral attack. Charge damage multiplier reduced on an air neutral attack. Maximum damage after both hits reduced to 19 from 29. So 10 damage has been nerfed. Air side attack hitbox size increased 20%. And his air down attack. Second hit damage increased to 8 from 4. Second hit knockback increased to 1250 from 440. And the second hit knockback scale increased to 22 from 17 on the air down attack. Oh my God. So he's going to be killing people a lot easier with his spikes now. Why was the second hit knockback only 440 before? That's crazy for Taz. What? Now the move is going to be a little bit more viable now, I think. That's a significant change for knockback. Earlier kills with Taz, spikes in general. Ground and air neutral special. now applies incapacitate resistant buff to incapacitated enemies. That's a big thing for the general in this one. And fix an issue where Taz could get stuck in an eat loop indefinitely until he was hit. I didn't see that one. And now we actually got some adjustments. Oh, I just saw some crazy stuff. So Tom and Jerry, jump 1 speed increase, jump 2 speed, and height increase. That's good. And passes, fix a visual arrow indicator meant to show Jerry's location when Jerry is off screen. That's a good change right there because it's been very difficult to see no Jerry. Air and ground up special, fix an issue where Jerry's cooldown would not start if Jerry died while attached to the rocket. That's messed up. So you could go, you would before would go a whole life without Jerry. That's crazy. And the Joker got some adjustments. So the ground side dodge distance reduced 10%. Yeah, I said this before in the close test. I just felt like Joker's dodge distance on the ground was crazy. It was a little excessive and very easy to use to like extend his jab combos, which is why he was such a big problem very early on in the game. Ground side attack 1, speaking of it, hitbox size adjusted so it's less likely for the Joker to hit enemies behind him, and the on whiff branch window delayed 4 frames. Can't be spamming jabs out there. Air and ground neutral attack. Diamond card now properly comes to a stop after colliding with terrain. That's the boomerang one. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't realize that was a thing before, but that actually makes sense. Now you don't have to worry about it. If you dodge it and it hits something behind you, it should not still be coming back. Air up attack now applies repeat move lockout for 8 frames on his air up attack. Really? That actually got adjusted? I'm surprised that got adjusted. Well, they did adjust BltzZ when it came to how active it is. They lowered it by like 2 frames, but with this, now it has a repeat move lockout for 8 frames, so you can't just spam it. And the on whiff branch window also is delayed by 4 frames. Wow, so 12 frames of delay. It will lock you out from repeating it and also from whiffing it, because you could just throw this out, even if before you could just throw this out to like protect Joker in front, behind, and above him. Now that's not the case so much as far as like speed goes, but it seems like the hitbox of it was not adjusted at all, so it might still be a problem. Still a really good move, one of his best moves. Air side special on hit branch window delayed 10 frames. Damn, you can't chain that together anymore, at least not at later percents. Enemies will be able to jump out of that. That's crazy. So on whiff, previously that actually did get a nerf, but now on hit, it's been nerfed even more. The baton air side special, by the way. Air and ground up special. Fix an issue where riding the balloon would immediately ring out the rider. Thank God. I mean, I've had that happen to me twice since I've been playing the game. 3 times actually. Twice in closed test and once since game launch, but I haven't played Joker as much since the game launch. Air down special. Repeat move lockout increased to 15 frames from 8 frames. This was a great move to use in combos early on to get enemies up higher than Joker, but I could see where this would be a problem, especially with him falling down above the enemy to just keep spamming this out to protect himself. So you have to be a little bit more calculated with this one. And Joker's wild perk, knockback scaling reduced to 21 from 27. So I've had that perk where it generates a random bomb, a big giant card for Joker. I've had to kill people, but not consistently. So now this will just, this will kill like if they're on the edge and stuff. Velma. Okay, never mind what I said about Steven and Taz. Velma seems like she got the most changes. Or let's see, we got some positives here, I think. These are the changes we were referring to after our Velma changes in the 1.02 patch. We hope to address some of the worst bugs impacting Velma players and also give her some strength in her zoning tools. So, Velma mains, are we back, or is she still in the missing in action tier with Agent Smith? In general, fix an issue where Velma could get stuck to any fighter that grabbed Velma under certain conditions. I've done that to Velmas before, with Jason specifically. And fix an issue where evidence would stop randomly spawning on the map after Velma was wrung out. That's gonna help her out a lot. Ground side attack 1 on whiff branch window has been advanced 4 frames on whiff, and the ground side attack 2, same thing. She can whiff. She can use her jabs more often without fear of it whiffing. Ground up attack, Velma can now hold forward to slide forward during the attack startup, so she's a little bit more looking like the rest of the cast in that aspect. In the air and ground neutral attack, Velma can now aim the megaphone. I wonder if Coney's gonna like that. Air and ground neutral special branch windows now standardized for both air and ground versions. The hay projectile hitbox size increased to match the hitbox size. Should address issues with inconsistent projectile interactions, and all speech bubbles no longer collide with fall through platform. Good. I didn't even know that her projectiles could collide with the platforms. That's stupid that it did that before. What? Should be able to. All projectiles should be able to go through the fall through platforms. Ground side special, minimum charge run speed increased, and the knockback reduced to 2300 from 2500. So that's a slight nerf right there, but it'll probably keep enemies closer enough to her to follow up easier. Knockback scaling increased to 9 from 0. Okay, never mind. Fixed an issue where Velma could run off screen if the ground was destroyed beneath her while running. That's kind of like Joker killing himself with the balloon. Air side special now ignores player collisions during movement. Air up special now has the chance to spawn evidence. That's good. Give more evidence, more possibilities for evidence in general for the character. And ground down special mystery machine fixed an issue where Velma could fall to her death if the ground was destroyed beneath her. Damn, kept on happening during her specials. So Velma seems to be in a better spot now. I wonder how much more adjustment she needs to be viable again. I feel like hearing those changes, she might be in B tier, but also kind of tickling her way over to A tier, if that makes any sense. I don't think that anything was drastically changed to the point where she's significantly changed to be jumping up to S tier per se. But hey, let me know if you think otherwise in the comments below. Now, Wonder Woman. I'm a Wonder Woman main, and you guys know I do think she's amazing. I think she's really good. But the problem with why she is so good is because of how easy to use and straightforward her kit is. So unless they actively change a whole lot of stuff about her, she's kind of going to be still doing the same things that people are going to be frustrated about. Because even in the beta, I thought she was solid in the beta, but the stupid change that they did was that they gave her armor on her grounded side special. I felt like that was unnecessary. That was like the third patch of the game. They added that to her, that she didn't need that. Now let's see. Wonder Woman has been feeling a little strong since the official launch. We want to keep her identity as the easy to pick up armor to tank, but in that vein, we don't think she should be able to score ring outs easier than the rest of the cast. These changes should make her feel a little easier to play against while slightly toning down her KO power. I did see some clips where while her KO power might be tweaked, she still has an insane combo game to rack up a lot of damage, especially in 1v1s, more so in 2v2s. So technically she still is, I think, just as oppressive based off of things that I've seen. But let's read through these and I'll give you my thoughts. Passive can now blocking a projectile will only charge Wonder Woman's passive if the projectile has an active hitbox. This will fix issues where Wonder Woman can gain a full passive charge from projectiles like Jerry or BltzZ safe. Yeah, you'd be able to side special through it and gain passive meter before. That was the thing you could do to Jerry and BltzZ safe and other projectiles that were just laying there stationary. That doesn't seem like that's in the game anymore, or at least she will still gain it, but not a full passive charge. Ground up attack on hit, branch window delayed 3 frames. So if she does her ground up attack, which is the shield smack upwards, she can't act out of it for another 3 more frames. I don't think that's not that bad. She can still follow up for 3 frames, I think. Ground down attack, additional damage from passive charge has been reduced. Additional knockback from passive charge has been reduced. And self-applied armor now falls off after the hitbox ends. Ally armor unchanged. So this move, I was genuinely surprised by. Still kind of am at how crazy the killing power was with it. I love the changes of the meter. Initially, the meter that not going away after each death, but they got rid of that entirely. So now when she dies, the meter will reset for her, and now they seem to have adjusted the damage and the knockback from the move itself. So I wonder if she's still killing people crazy with this. It's still, I hope they don't make it unusable, but it was killing at 40%, which was way too early. If anything, this should be killing at like 75 to like 80%, I think, personally. But now the armor falls off after the hitbox ends, whereas before she kind of gave herself armor. She still will give her teammate armor, it seems like, but she used to give herself armor during this, which made it easier to hit this move. So that seemingly has been adjusted slightly towards the end. Air side attack on whiff, branch window has been delayed 2 frames, so that's not bad at all. That's not that bad. And the damage has been reduced to 9 from 11, and knockback scaling to 19 from 20.5. It's a 1.5 drop. And knockback increased to 1350 from 1250. The base knockback was increased to account for the lower knockback from the reduced damage. So you'll still be able to kill with this, but this will also like knock enemies further away from her. So this way she can't just chain them together or follow up as easily in neutral to throw out another one, right? The move was pretty good. Still is good, I think. Air down attack, reduced duration visually and attack pose, branch windows, and hitbox timing has been unchanged. So, you guys, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I think this is a buff. I think that her animation for this was a little too slow, kind of like a wind up in a sense after the move came out. But I've been seeing clips where you're able to basically throw this out continuously, especially against a character like Iron Giant, and lock him in place over and over again with that. So I feel like they're going to end up adjusting this. It's a little too crazy, in my opinion. Still a really good move. Air and ground neutral special. Fix an issue where lasso could sometimes be reflected. Lasso is not reflectable. I didn't know that was a thing. And ground side special. Self-applied armor now falls off after the initial dash. Our ally armor has been unchanged. So now you can't just hold it and sit there in armor, which I think is fair because there's a lot of Wonder Womans, a lot of cheesy Wonder Womans. I'll say it. You guys ain't shit. The ones that are just spamming and holding this out there, you guys are disrespecting the rest of us. Repeat move lockout increased to 18 frames from 10 frames, so 10 frame delay. And fix an issue where the self-imposed slow while holding the shield could be cleansed. I didn't know that was a thing. It's a weird bug. Ground up special. Hitbox startup delayed 2 frames, so it's a little bit slower. She's not getting massive like frame hits. I'm surprised. Like they went kind of ham on bugs, but not so much on Wonder Woman. It's a little surprising. Air up special. Knockback angle has been made more diagonal. Ground up special knockback has been changed, and the hitbox startup has been delayed 2 frames. Updated movement after launch to prevent Wonder Woman from falling too quickly. The updated movement after launch to prevent Wonder Woman from falling too quickly is it's technically a nerf, so this way she won't fall as fastly to be able to throw out another one, because when she lands, she can basically reset the move and use it again. So that doesn't seem like that's a change. It's more so a nerf, really. And air and ground down special. Cooldown increased to 33 seconds from 28 seconds. So that's the armor. So it's gonna be 5 seconds longer to use the armor. And Shield of Athena perk fixed an issue where Wonder Woman could block ally projectiles. I didn't even know that was a thing. We hope you guys are excited, as we all are, for the changes leading into MultiVersus 1.05 following a brief maintenance. Please let us know your thoughts. And let them know, guys, on the social media channels all below: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and Discord, and also the comments below in this video. What do you guys think of these changes? I'll be straight up with you guys. I love Wonder Woman. I get what everybody's saying. Like she is very easy to pick up, almost too easy to pick up and play and just win with. That is the essence of the character that they wanted to be designed around. If you look back at the beta for MultiVersus, she was the free character. She was the free, here, you just downloaded our game, have Wonder Woman for free. She's very easy to pick up and play, and also generally really good. That's the style of the character they want. Unfortunately, in this one, you don't get Wonder Woman for free, surprisingly. It doesn't seem like they want to tweak her a little bit too much. I'm surprised that we're seeing like delays of like 3 frames and 2 frames and 4 frames. I was expecting nothing too drastic, because they still obviously want to make her a very usable character, because there's not a whole lot to Wonder Woman's kit. She's very simple to pick up, easy to play. I think in one afternoon, if you just lab a lot of her shit in general, you could just become a very, very well-versed top 100. I think BltzZ's Nair has been adjusted a little bit too much, but man, that's interesting. Now, we got some time coming up this weekend to catch up on the rifts. If you guys are already there and just patiently waiting until Monday for Agent Smith, I'm gonna make sure that I get on your level, so this way we could all play as Agent Smith and run Agent Smith 2v2s online. I think that's gonna be really fun. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite change? Either it's base general settings for the game, more settings being added into the interface, or character changes in general. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below how you feeling about these updates for MultiVersus 1.05, and what else would you love to see? I know that the big comments are going to be all about the speed being adjusted, but again, I don't think that that is going to be something that they are aiming to do. And if that's something that you're sticking around here waiting for, hey man, just being real with you, it doesn't seem like that's something that they're going to do, and I don't want you to waste your time, especially if you don't want to play this game. If you're not having fun with the speed, by all means, you shouldn't be playing this. Play something else. There's plenty of other games out there. That's essentially what I've been doing. I like the game, I like the speed, but I've been playing a lot of other games in my time instead of just dedicating all of it to one particular game with MultiVersus. There's plenty of good games out there, guys. Go ahead and do that. The options are there for everybody. Enjoy. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More MultiVersus videos are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.